First of all, and some team news then. Anyone who was involved on Sunday not available for the trip to Liverpool?
No, so everyone is available. We have Carew back, we have James Milner back, we have Tommy Watson back. So these are positive news. Of course, Steph will miss the whole season. Solly, I think he will back in 2-3 weeks, and unfortunately Adam is still out. But beside that, it's quite positive.
So first of all, then with Stefanos Jamas, can you confirm the injury? Is it an ACL? Is it?
Yeah, I can confirm that.
And back in pre-season, I guess, hopefully.
I hope so. Yes.
Have you seen much of him? How is he doing?
Yeah, we see him. He's here. He's already starting his rehab. He will have a surgery, and we have big trust in the doctors, and we have big trust in our medical department. So we are quite convinced that he will be back as quick as possible and even in better shape.
Yeah, and when you say Mitoma and Milner and Watson, are they in the squad for tomorrow? Will they travel?
They are definitely options. Yes, to be in the squad. So Yasin is also back. So we have now decisions to make. So it will be definitely some players who will be out of the squad. But I think it's more positive thing that we have to make decisions or which player is in the squad and which player is not in the squad.
When you mentioned Carew, I know you've spoken to us in the last few weeks about how he's still been managing the pain. Is that something that he's sort of got over now?
Yeah. He overcome the pain issue, and he trained well this week, so he will be an option.
Yeah, and it's great timing, isn't it? Because you get into that part of the season where you do have lots of back-to-back fixtures. You have that intensity that you want to keep on as well. How important is it sooner rather than later then you had all those back, so you have options to rotate?
I think it's important to have the availability, but much more important is to keep the availability. So having the availability for one game is good. But it has to be like a consistency. It has to be like through the whole phase of these amount of games through this period. It's just important to keep the availability, not only one game. So therefore we try to keep working hard for them. But in the end, it's a really good start that we have this availability back, and now we have to do everything what we can do together with the players that we can keep pushing this through this phase of the season.
I know Brian asked you this last week about Evan Ferguson. There's speculation in Italy about whether Roma could end the loan early or try to do that. We know there's still not so many talks about that happening, but is that something that could be of interest to you? I mean, you scored twice last night against Celtic. Is it, instead of going into the transfer market, I know you've got lots of players that could play across the front line, but I guess Danny Welbeck's the only recognised target man, isn't he? So would it be good to have him back?
Evan is a player from us, so that's why he will always be an option. Of course, now at the moment he's on loan, but we follow it. We are pleased how he performed yesterday. Of course, we all follow it, so definitely he might be an option.
Okay, you might not have heard. You probably haven't heard because you were coming in the door as he was talking about it. But Arne Slot has not ruled out that Mo Salah could be involved tomorrow against you guys. He was asked whether he could play or whether he's playing his last game or not. I'm not asking you to comment about the situation specifically, but in terms of if you were to face him, I think I was doing the numbers, and there's 18 matches since Brighton were promoted to the Premier League in all competitions, and he's had 17 direct goal involvements, 10 goals, 7 assists. Be useful if you don't play him, wouldn't it?
Then I maybe should get involved and should say hopefully he's not available. But no, we always want to face the best players, the best teams. We try to go for this challenge. To be honest, like we don't have any idea how Liverpool will play, with which players they will face us, which formation. So just said it to my lads, it's about us. It's about focusing on our principles, our style of play. We go there. We know no matter which situation Liverpool is, it will be a big challenge. So we try to face it, and we try to go there to win this game.
Yeah, just the last one from me. Obviously, the last time you played them, you beat them at the Amex. How much confidence does that give you? And also, in terms of how they've been this season, I know it's difficult to talk about a club that say they're struggling when they've just beaten Real Madrid, but they have been up and down. Have you been surprised by that form this season?
We also up and down this season. So I think at the moment there are maybe 2 clubs in the league who have a consistency, and all the others are fighting against each other. It's quite competitive, and Liverpool is part of that. So every game is opportunity for us to win it, and every game we prove this season we can beat other teams, no matter how big the individual quality is. I think tomorrow we face a team with the biggest, the highest individual quality in the league, but we still have to believe to go there and win this game. So like I just said, it's about focusing on us. It's about showing the things we try to implement it during the trainings week, and trying to play with more intensity, with more energy than we played in the last game. And that's our challenge, and that's what we try to focus on.
Thank you. Good luck.
If this is to be Mo Salah's last match in the Premier League, or if he's even made his last appearance for Liverpool, how significant do you think his influence on the Premier League has been?
Definitely big. So I'm quite new in the Premier League, but of course I followed the Premier League before, and he was always a big player, always a player who made the difference, always a player who scored quite a lot of goals. So therefore his influence was and can be massive. But in the end, I think it's really about their situation. It's not our situation. It's not my situation. So therefore, I can't make any further comments on how they will solve it, how they will deal with it, because it's not our issue, and it's not something we can influence. So therefore, we should really focus on the things we can influence, and that's our preparation. That's how we prepare our players, how our players prepare individually for this challenge.
It was such a positive first season for Arne Slot last year. Do you think that success last year has maybe ramped up the expectations too much for them this season?
I think there are always expectations on big clubs, and that's a situation you have to deal with when you're working for big clubs. That there's always pressure when you don't win games. I think we have a similar situation in Madrid. So Alonso is not winning or losing 3 games in a row, and then immediately has pressure. So I think that's part of being a coach in the biggest clubs in the world, and you have to find a way to deal with it. You have to find a way to deal with the expectations. But what I can say, I really have like a big respect for what Arne Slot achieved, how he's playing with his teams. You see a clear style of play, so I'm really looking forward to face him tomorrow.
You mentioned about the expectations there. Both Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz came from Germany to now play their football in the Premier League, varying starts to their time at Liverpool so far. Do you think it's a bit of a surprise for some players, the difference between the German leagues and playing in the Premier League?
I think you have to ask this to Florian Wirtz and Ekitike, but definitely you see also German players who develop quite fast, who have immediate impact, for example, like with Voldemare. So I think it's very individually. There are some players who adapt quicker to the demands from the Premier League. Some players have like other profiles who has more problems. We see it with our team, we see it with our players. So some players adapt quicker in comparison with other players. Some players have different profiles. Some players are mentally prepared differently. So I think it's very, very individually. You can't say that this case or the case from Florian is the case for every player. So I think you have to treat it individually, and you have to get an understanding what the player needs, how you can help the player. But overall, I think we all agree that both players, Ekitike and Florian Wirtz, have like unbelievable talent, unbelievable potential. And even when Florian Wirtz doesn't score so far, he still has an impact by his movements, by his actions, by his potential. So I think they still are a big danger for every team, and we still have to defend as a team against both.
You previously said that Tzimas was ahead of Kostoulas in his development at the club. With Tzimas out for the rest of the season, does that kind of tweak your plan for Kostoulas now and kind of speed up his development?
I think he speeded it up by himself. So he showed a really good performance against West Ham when he came in the game. Every time he went on the pitch, I think he had an impact, and I think that's exactly what he he's shown in every training session, and when we think he's ready to start a game, then he will get the chance. But it's also his responsibility to show it every day, and that's what he's doing so far. So overall, we are quite pleased with his development. We're happy how he's doing, and definitely by the injury from Steph, there might be new opportunities for other players, and now it's about them to understand and recognize the opportunity and try to go for it.
And just finally, Carlos will depart for the Africa Cup of Nations very soon. Do you think actually him having a positive tournament will be a good thing for Brighton and yourself in the long run?
Definitely. So we all hope that he has a really good tournament with Cameroon, that he's playing well, that he's gaining self-confidence, that he tries to have like consistency in his performances. Of course, I think it's a different style there. It's very physical. It will be very demanding for his body, but hopefully he can use it in the right way and will come back stronger.
Fabian, there's a lot of excitement over the fact that Karim Mitoma could actually return and such a key player for you. How important is it not to expect too much though from him based on the time that he's been out and the injury that he's had?
Yeah, I think very important. So, of course, we all know he's a key player. He can be a match winner for us, but we already proved it this season that we also a great team and a good team without him. We are able to beat big teams without him. So now it's about him to come back to his best shape. It's about him to fight for his position. I think we have now several opportunities or several options on this position. We played there with Gomez. We played there with Maxime de Kuyper. So now Carew is back, and exactly that's what we wanted to have, like competition for every position. And now it's about them to fight for it.
Does their attacking options on that right-hand side, your left, come into play in team selection for a game like this? Because obviously, whether it's Salah who starts on the right or somebody else, obviously got strong wide players, but you've gone sometimes with Maxim and Ferdy, sometimes you've got Diego out there. Does that come into your thinking?
Yeah, definitely. You have to think about what is the best connection on the pitch, what is the best pair, I would say, from regarding fullbacks and wingers who can defend together as a pair, but also who can attack together as a pair, and therefore we try to make the best decision tomorrow. But overall, I'm quite pleased how Diego and how Maxime performed there when they played in this position.
There's just 7 points between 4th and 14th. Does that excite you or does that worry you?
I think I'm a quite positive person, so that really excites me because there are big opportunities, and that's what I just mentioned. There are not a lot of teams who have found their consistency, so everyone is struggling with that. So there are two things for me. The first thing is which team can find their consistency the fastest, and the second thing, how do the teams deal with setbacks? So it's like a boxer, how many hits you can take and keep moving forward, because in this season it's about that. It's about taking hits and keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep being positive. So I see it as a big opportunity and as a big chance for us as a club to grow, to get as quick as possible to our consistency and to deal with setbacks and to get the hits and keep sticking together, keep moving forward. And that's exactly what we try to do and what we try to go for.
And in terms of your players, obviously people talk about Anfield, the atmosphere being special. It's difficult to know what it'll be like at the weekend, but how pleased have you been with the way that your team has generally dealt with the big occasion, the big teams, the big trips since you've been in charge?
I think quite positive. So of course we weren't able to win there last season, but we were close. We also traveled to other big stadiums with great atmosphere, and we were always able to handle it, and therefore I'm quite convinced that we go there tomorrow and play with a lot of courage. I think in these kind of games you need a lot of believe in your own quality, believe in your teammate, because without belief you can't win this game. So definitely it's a big word tomorrow that we go there with big belief, and we can go there with big self-confidence and with a big belief in our quality and our style of play, because we proved it this season and last season that we can beat these kind of teams, and if we stick together we are capable of doing great achievements.